Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. So today I was thinking of making some fried chicken, and this is like in the style of Kentucky Fried Chicken, which is a very tasty, simple recipe of fried chicken. So here I have washed and rinsed some chicken drumsticks. These are 950 grams of chicken drumsticks, and they make about I have 8 pieces. So we're going to fry these today, cook them. So hopefully it'll be very tasty. So I've transferred the chicken drumsticks into a bowl, and now we're going to add our seasoning. So first we're going to add about a quarter to a half a teaspoon of onion salt. So I'm adding about half a teaspoon, or you can add less, like a quarter of a teaspoon too, depending on your preference for salt. Then we're going to add a quarter of a teaspoon of ground black pepper, or just a tiny sprinkle. I'm just going to sprinkle it on. Then we're going to add a quarter of a teaspoon or half a teaspoon. I'm adding a quarter of red chili powder, or you can use chili flakes. So there goes my quarter of a teaspoon. If you like chili, you can add half a teaspoon. Then we have 1 teaspoon of dry mint. And next we're going to add coriander powder. You can crush whole coriander seeds and whisk them, blend them, and you can make a powder out of them, or you can just use coriander powder, which you can buy. 1 teaspoon of coriander powder going in. And lastly, we're going to add our garlic granules, which is like 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon is about this much. Right, we're going to give this a mix. And then we're going to just poke it with a fork. So that the seasoning can go inside the chicken. Just make sure the chicken pieces are nicely coated with the seasoning. As you can see, my drumsticks have slight skin on them. You can have them with the skin on or with the skin off. It's your preference, whatever you like. Okay. So now we're going to marinate this for 20 minutes and leave it to one side. Right, so it's been 20 minutes and our chicken has been marinated in the seasoning. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cover it with flour to get it ready to fry. So in a dish, in a bowl, we're going to crack an egg in there. Give it a whisk. You can add another egg if this is not enough afterwards. And in this bowl we have some plain flour, which we're going to coat the chicken in. So take your drumstick, place it in the egg, roll it around and on the top, and then place it into your flour, press it down, cover the flour over it, and just press it with your fingers and coat the whole drumstick, and turn it over and do the same on the other side. Just make sure the whole piece is coated properly everywhere. Right, give it a real press down. In your hands as well, you can really press that down and place it on in a plate. I'm going to do the same with all of them. And you can squeeze it in your hands as well to make sure it's properly coated. Just cup your hands around the fatty part of the drumstick and just press it in. Right, so this is how your chicken pieces should look when you've coated them with the egg and flour. Remember to throw away any leftover egg and flour, as it's you've used raw chicken in it, so you shouldn't be eating it. So the only thing with this is make sure you coat your chicken really well with the flour, pat it and use your hands properly, and take your time coating it, because if you haven't coated it properly, then it will break when you're frying and it's not nice. So now we're ready for frying. So I have here a wok in which I've put some vegetable oil or any frying oil you have, and as you can see, it's been sitting there on a high heat, medium high heat. And there we go, it's been sitting there on a medium high heat for about 3 or 4 minutes, and it's gone quite hot. You can see little bubbles in it, that means it's ready. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your drumstick and place it in there very gently, because the oil is very hot. So just drop it in very gently from the side. Mind your fingers. Right, we're just going to turn the heat down to low while we put those in, just to be safe. So the heat is on low now. Right, so put all the drumsticks in there and keep it on low heat as you add them. So leave them there for about a minute and then we will turn them over. If your oil is not hot enough, the chicken drumsticks will not be crispy. So we're going to turn the heat back up now to medium high and just gently turn them over. You have a nice crispy coating, but if your heat is good and it's on a high heat and it's almost boiling and you gently put your chicken in, obviously when you're placing the chicken pieces in there, turn the heat down to low and place your chicken pieces in, and then turn the heat up to medium or high, whatever you can manage. Right, so we mustn't really be touching them too much, but I just want to turn them. Right. I don't want to break them. The flour will go everywhere in the oil if they break. So we're just going to let them fry now for about 5 minutes on this heat. It's it's a sort of high heat, medium high heat. I've got too many in there. My wok is a bit small, but it's fine. So just keep that on a high-ish heat. This sort of heat. So once both sides have crisped up and turned brown like this, you can move them about a little bit more, because the coating will not come off now at this stage. It's quite firmly on the chicken piece. Just trying to get, see, this slight bit has come off here, but it's okay. Right, there we go. Just trying to turn them. I think I just have too many pieces in my small wok, so it's fine. Just let that carry on frying now, basically, until it's cooked. We've still got it on high heat. Fried chicken is good to eat sometimes. I mean, you know, sometimes you do feel like eating, you know, something a little bit naughty, but it's fine to eat sometimes. Obviously it's fried, so it's not good for you, but for the sometimes you can eat it. This is the kind of recipe you can make it for home. You can take it out on a picnic. If you're going out to the to the beach, you can pack this up in some plastic containers and take it with you. It's perfect to take out on days out. Right, we're not going to touch it too much. Just leave it there. Let's just turn this one over. Okay. Just trying to press them down into the oil, but it's okay. They're nearly cooked. You don't want to touch them too much. No, not yet. Leave them in there for another 5 minutes. So we've cooked them on a high heat for 10 minutes now. So I'm just going to take one piece out, this one, and see if it's cooked. So just pop it in a plate. Let's have a look. Be careful, it's hot. No. Is it cooked? Maybe a few more minutes. Just check that there's no blood coming out of it. If there's blood coming out of it, that means it's still raw. So I'm not sure. I think 5 more minutes I'll give it. Yeah, we'll give it 5 more minutes. Bring it down to a sort of lowish heat, so that it cooks properly from the inside. So here's our heat now. After 10 minutes, we put it on a low heat, and we're going to cook it for 5 more minutes. Let's see. So it's been on now for 5 minutes on a low heat. They're doing so. Take one piece out, and we're just going to cut it and see if it's cooked. Oh yes, that's very soft when the knife goes in. Yeah, that's definitely cooked. And if you put your knife near the bone, if there's blood on it and blood is coming out, that means it's still raw. So put it back in for a further 5 minutes. But ours are ready. So we cook them on high for 10 minutes, turning them over after 5 minutes, and then on a low heat for a further 5 minutes. These are ready, so let's put them out onto a kitchen towel paper so that it absorbs the excess oil. So this is our final dish. Really delicious chicken drumsticks, fried chicken drumsticks like KFC style. Now I'm going to show you an extra special coating for these. If you want to be a bit more fancy, I'll make a coating and I'll show you. Chicken drumsticks, another whole level of coating. So we have here tomato ketchup. We're going to put about 1 tablespoon. Barbecue sauce, 1 tablespoon. Soya sauce, about, let me see, whoops, 1 tablespoon. That's light soya sauce. Dark soya sauce, 1 tablespoon. And then we have oyster sauce, about 1 tablespoon. Just give that a mix. So I have here cider vinegar at about 1 tablespoon. If you don't have apple cider vinegar, you can just squeeze a little bit of lemon, half a lemon. Give that all a good mix and just have a taste. That's very nice and sour. Then we're going to take your brush and just coat each piece on both sides with your lovely sauce. You don't have to add the vinegar or the lemon if you don't like your chicken slightly soury. You can just leave that out. Right, turn it over and just do the same to the other side. Now we're going to sprinkle some sesame seeds. There we go. And here your lovely, they've become sticky chicken drumsticks now, and they're all ready. Right guys, so these are our really nice chicken drumsticks which are ready, which have a really nice sticky sauce on top of them. So they're not quite KFC now, they've become something else, but they still look very delicious. I hope you enjoyed this fried chicken recipe, and take care and see you soon. Bye.